Good afternoon. How's everybody doing tonight? Well, I'm just so glad to have you here. We all are. Tonight, we're going to start off, or this afternoon, we're going to start off with presentations. Number one, presentation retirement plaque for Major Keith Urey after over 28 years of service to the City of Concord. If you could come forward, I'll meet you down there.
Ready to go.
Welcome. Absolutely. Well, you know, it's that time again. You know, you talked about this for 28 years. That we finally made. But I'm going to read a little bit about Major Urey. Major Keith Urey is retiring from the Concord Police Department after 28 years of service. He began law enforcement career in 1997, interning with the Concord Police Department while attending the University of North Carolina, Charlotte. After graduating, he was sponsored by the department to attend basic law enforcement training, BLET, at the NC Justice Academy in Salemburg, North Carolina. Major Urey served 9 years on the patrol division, achieving the rank of Master Police Officer, before transferring to the Criminal Investigation Division in 2006. He was promoted to Sergeant in 2008 and Captain in 2010, serving as a Baker District Captain. Promoted to Major in 2016, he currently leads the Administration Bureau, which includes budget management, strategic planning, and training. Major Urey holds a Bachelor of Science degree in Criminal Justice from UNC Charlotte, an MBA from Pfeiffer University, and a graduate certificate in Public Administration from Clemson University. He also graduated from the FBI National Academy and the North Carolina Justice Academy Management Development Program. Wow. I just think that we are so lucky to have had Major Urey for all these years and watch him develop as he's come through this. How about a big round of applause? Thank you. Who do you have with us here tonight?
My wife, Randa. My wife, Randa. My brother, Todd. His wife, Sonia. My mom, Linda.
Very good. So what are you going to do with him now?
Very well, honey, to do this.
Oh, very good. He's going to need
We
it.
still need the pass to Hilton Head.
You got it. You have got it. You call me up. I know how to get that for
Yes,
you. Tell me a little bit about your career from your side. What we should know about it.
I started here when I was in college and never left. It's been a fun ride. It's been good to me. I'm just looking forward to the next chapter. But it's been home for forever, so didn't never want to leave.
Yeah, since 1997,
Yes, sir.
you've seen a lot of change, haven't you?
Mhm.
How do you like the chief?
Me and Jimmy's been together for 27 years.
I know. That's a good one.
Yes, sir.
Well, thank you for all you've done. We're really going to miss you, but you're always welcome back whenever you'd like.
Yes, sir.
We'll have you here. And I think council wants to also
Okay.
say a few words to you. So thank you so much. Yeah. On your agenda, we're now moving to item number 3, presentation, a proclamation recognizing the week of May 4th through 10th, 2025 as Professional Municipal Clerks Week. And if I could have Kim Deason, our clerk, come down. professional, let's see, she'd be our professional person.
I'm just happy I was able to walk on one trip.
That's great, congratulations. Just for us to understand, how long have you worked here and how long have you been a city clerk?
I've been with the city since 2001, and I became a city clerk in 2008.
And when did you become the city clerk?
2008.
That ain't, so that's the,
In 2007, I became deputy clerk.
Yep.
And then in 2008, I became clerk.
all right. Well, I have a proclamation here that I would like to read. Whereas the office of professional municipal clerk is a time-honored and essential part of local government serving communities throughout the world and Concord. Whereas the office of professional municipal clerk is one of the oldest public service positions, integral in the formation and continuity of the local governance. Whereas the professional municipal clerk provides a vital link between citizens, local governing bodies, and a variety of agencies of all levels of government. Whereas professional municipal clerks are committed to upholding principles of neutrality, impartiality, equal service to all members of the community. Whereas the Office of Professional Municipal Clerk serves as the information hub for the local government operations and community affairs. And whereas the professional municipal clerk continuously strive to embrace the administration of their office by actively participating in educational programs, professional development opportunities, and the annual conferences of their state, provincial, county, and international associations. And whereas it is fitting to recognize and celebrate the significant contributions and accomplishments of the professional municipal clerks, now therefore I, William C. Dush, Mayor of the City of Concord, along with council, do hereby proclaim the week of May 4th through 10th as Professional Municipal Clerks Week and extend appreciation to our professional municipal clerk, Kim Deason, along with all the professional municipal clerks for their invaluable service and steadfast dedication to the communities they serve. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, the last one we're going to present tonight is number 4, presentation or proclamation recognizing May 18th through 24th, 2025 as National Public Works Week. Philip, you coming up with anybody else?
Everybody, water or wastewater?
Come on up.
All right, there we go.
Thank you, thank you. Oh, yeah, come on up. How are you?
Good.
How are you doing? Thank you.
You want to help?
Thank you. You do?
Hey, 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 look at that.
Well, before I read this, you want to tell us a little bit about your side of this?
Sure. So, National Public Works Week is an event, a week set aside every year from the American Public Works Association, recognize those for the City of Concord's sake. Think of the Brown Operations Center, water, wastewater engineering, transportation, solid waste, everybody, the whole gamut there. So again, it's a time to celebrate those, thank those individuals for the hard work they do out in the field every day. And we get to have a little celebration in the middle of the week for them, so a little appreciation there.
Very good. Well, let me go ahead and read the proclamation. Whereas public works services provided in our community are the integral part of our citizens' everyday lives, whereas the support of the understanding and informed citizenry is vital to the efficient operation of the public works system, and programs such as water, sewer, streets, highways, public buildings, and solid waste collection. Whereas the health, safety, and comfort of this community as greatly depends on the facilities and services. Whereas the quality and effectiveness of these facilities, as well as those planning, design, and construction, are vitally important upon the effort and skills of the public work officials. Whereas the efficiency and the qualified and dedicated personnel who staff Public Works Department is materially influenced by people's attitudes and understanding of the importance of the work they perform. Now, therefore, I, William C. Dush, Mayor of the City of Concord, along with City Council, do hereby proclaim the week of May 18th through 24th, 2025 as National Public Works Week in the City of Concord and North Hannah, and urge all citizens and civic organizations to acquaint themselves with the issues involved in providing our public service work and to recognize the contributions which public work officials make every day to our health, safety, comfort, and quality of life. Thank you very much to all of you for all you do. You have some comments you would like to make? You have a microphone in your hand.
I'd like to thank the city for allowing the engineering department to serve them and their needs as well as the needs of the public. We usually are the ones with our heads down and not in the limelight, but we get it done.
Well, we thank you very much. All of you, what you do for us every day is just the greatest thing we could ever have. So we appreciate you, and we want to honor you with this proclamation. LJ, do you want to put us all together here? I'm going to get right between you two.
Got to make your way to Lloyd. We're going to use him as our anchor. That'll work. There we go. One. And give me one more. Perfect. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Good job. How was that? Put you on the spot. So we will move on to let's see, I guess we do public hearings next, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, item D, public hearings. Number one, conduct a public hearing, consider adopting resolution on the matter of closing the right-of-way of unopened street off Union and Sunset.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Calling Fred from the Planning Department to come up. He introduced this item to council last month, and so this is the second and last part of this request. So Fred, if you would.
Good afternoon, Mayor Dush, members of council, Mr. Payne, Ms. Golchinski, Ms. Deason. As was briefly mentioned before, this item came before you guys on last month during the April council meeting for consideration of the resolution of intent for closure. Since then, staff has received just a couple of calls from the public, and it's basically just simply inquiring about the nature of the special use permit sign that people are seeing on Union Street. No one was in opposition. We were just able to give them an answer as to what was proceeding with the public hearing on this Thursday. Additionally, and pursuant to the North Carolina General Statutes, staff has sent certified letters to adjacent property owners and run the necessary ads for the 4 consecutive weeks in the local newspaper, giving notice of the public hearing again to be held on Thursday of this week. I'll take any questions that the commission may have at this time. Council may have, excuse me.
Any questions from council? All right. Thank you very much. That completes our public hearings for the month. Now going to presentation petition requests. Number one, consider adopting an ordinance amending Chapter 58, Traffic and Vehicles.
Thank you, Mayor. So this is the proposed ordinance. The purpose of it is to adopt some rules and regulations to sort of regulate these trolley bar pedal carts. These, as a reminder, these type of vehicles are registered by the state of North Carolina. They're inspected by the state of North Carolina, and they are allowed to operate on the streets as long as the streets have a speed limit of 35 miles per hour or less. And the consumption of alcoholic beverages, believe it or not, is allowed under the state statute. So all this ordinance is really trying to do is establish some kind of rules and procedures to make sure that these vehicles are operating in a safe and respectful manner. We have only one applicant or one interested party in running one of these businesses at the time, Mr. Strominger. Nice, thank you. He has also seen the proposed ordinance. You have seen it in every city department that has anything to do with anything closely related to this at all has seen it. So everyone has made comments. They've all been addressed at this point. Mr. Strominger did have two additional comments. He asked about the provision requiring the prices to be posted on the vehicle. His point was they're going to be on his website, and he's not allowed to pick up passengers along the way, so why does he need to put a sticker on the car? I don't feel one way or the other about that. If you want me to change it, I will. He also asked about the time frame that was proposed in the ordinance and asked whether it could be changed to 11 on Friday and Saturday nights, just referencing the fact that several of these, of our establishments downtown are open until 11. He did not feel real strongly about that either. He said just a thought is basically what he said in his email. And I have it up, I can change it or not change it at your desire.
Anybody have any thoughts about the price being on it?
Well, I do, actually. I'm not sure I see any benefit of having the price on there. And is it an undue expense he may suffer if he like changes the price and then he has to reprint the sign? Feels like to me that's an extra expense he may not need to incur, and I'm not sure that there's any value in having it posted. So I would,
Can I ask where that,
Reservation only, right?
can I ask where it originated from, that piece of it, Valerie? Because I want to make sure it's not a price gouging type.
Right, and I think that's exactly where it did originate from. Historically, you know, these kinds of vehicles are sort of a brand-new invention. But historically, and Jimmy can jump in here and tell me if I've got it wrong, I don't even know that it ever occurred here in Concord, but more globally, it was problematic that taxi drivers would pick up a passenger, and then when they got to where they were going, their fare was, you know, $100 when it should have been $5 or whatever the case may be. And that is where the idea of posting the fares really began to show up on taxi cabs. And I think it's sort of a carryover from that. And I suspect that there are jurisdictions, and remember, I didn't write this out of my head. I took it from other places and put it all together. So I suspect that there are other jurisdictions where they do allow you to pick up passengers along the route, and therefore it would make sense to post it. Mr. Strominger did say that at least for his business, they do not plan, it's company policy that they will not pick up anybody along the route.
Counselor?
Yes, sir.
It says that you can pick them up, but it has to be prearranged and prepaid.
Right, so if you've made a reservation,
You
maybe
have
they
one.
can come to your house. They couldn't come to my house because I live on a hill, but
I have-
somewhere.
I have no problem with deleting those 4 or 5 words.
yeah.
I also have no problems extending Friday and Saturday to 11, but I'm kind of whatever.
I have no issue with it either.
I agree.
So for me, I'm for having the cost posted on the vehicle. I think it's fair to the consumer. Everybody's not going to go to his website and may not know. So I'm in favor of posting it on the vehicle.
But you do have to make a reservation. So when you make a reservation and you want to take 14 of your, oh, my microphone's off, excuse me. I said you do have to make a reservation, and if you want to take 14 of your closest friends, you have to arrange that, and then he tells you what the price is. And I kind of compare it, in my mind, to the trolley rides in Charleston, where those are not posted, and those are, you know, you go to the trolley and you ask how much, and they tell you it's, you know, $50, whatever, and then you get on. So you kind of know you're prepaying, and they don't pick anybody up along the way. And none of those trolleys in Charleston have their fares posted.
My only concern is we're not doing this just for him, but if there's a second and third one that do drop off and pick up people, then we have to redo this policy. So this is just for him doing it.
I'm fine with posting. I mean, everybody can print. It's one thing on one, it's just a minor.
Yeah, I am too. He's probably going to have a sign with his website on it and everything. I would think he would do some marketing off of that thing, so there's going to be a sign there anyway, I would think, so it's not that difficult to put anything on in addition to it, so. But you're right, Andy, I agree with that statement. You know, that if somebody else comes in with another vehicle that does pick up, then we've got another issue.
Are we still good with the 11 o'clock on Friday and Saturday?
I'm okay with that.
Definitely.
So the only change is the 11 o'clock in paragraph.
So I would make a motion, we approve as written, except extending the hours
Well,
to
we won't
11
have our
p.m.
motion till Thursday.
Thursday night.
But thank you.
But,
I was ready to do it.
Right? Let's get it done.
yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. It just doesn't. Okay,
I'm
All
moving
right.
fast.
all right, so, moving on to item 2, consider authorizing city manager to execute a work authorization contract not to exceed $99,916.72.
Thank you, Mayor. So Dirk is coming up, and he's going to cover items 2 and 3 for council this evening.
Good afternoon, Mayor, members of council, Mr. Payne, Ms. Kolchinsky, Ms. Deason. Item number 2 is a request to enter a contract with TB&E to do some civil engineering design for a proposed rent-a-car lot at our north overflow lot. If you recall, based on the pre-May of this year with Avelo Airlines, we were having a significant increase in airline activity along with rental cars. We have issues in the past at a commercial terminal building with employee parking, and our plan was to relocate the rental cars. What we'd like to do is go ahead and start the design of the relocation, civil engineering work. We do have approximately $600,000 of CFC funds to start the project, and then we'll work with our rental cars to come up with a final agreement and come back with the council for final approval. I'd like to move forward with that.
Any questions?
Sorry.
Right, while you're up,
Yes, sir. So item number 3 is change order number 2 for a fuel farm expansion. We've had some significant pavement deterioration during the construction, and we'd like to go ahead and complete these areas, or else we'll continue to have pavement issues. We have average about 5 to 6 fuel trucks, or about 8,000 gallons of fuel that come through this area here. It's a pretty tight area. And so we're asking for approval to go ahead and complete this project, approximately $40,279.30 worth of work, complete that up.
questions? All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dirk. Number 4, consider approving update design options for Dave Phillips Park.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Sheila's going to give the update and staff report on this item. So Sheila, if you would.
Thank you. Mayor, members of council, Mr. Payne, Ms. Kolchinsky, Ms. Deason. Tonight, we are seeking council's approval for some design changes and material changes at the future Dave Phillips Park. The current phase of the project that we're in includes environmental assessments, permitting, site plan review, to help us move forward with construction documents. During this phase, we also requested an updated cost estimate due to the ongoing increase in cost for construction that we have been seeing. Tonight, I will present this information that we have received, options to consider, and how the impacts to the overall park design and cost for the Dave Phillips Park. The first area I'd like to discuss is the aviary. The picture to the left is the original, and the picture to the right is the new. Due to the environmental assessment that we received, it was identified that there were poor soil conditions located at the aviary. Due to these soil conditions, the aviary design will need to change. We will need to remove the shade cell structure because the ground will not support the foundation needed to hold the structure. We will need to change the concrete path to a natural surface using crushed fines. And crushed fines, if you have visited WW Flow or Dorton Park, it's the fine surface, it's crushed granite that's more of a natural surface trail. The recommended changes still maintain the environmental education concept, 2 half-moon seating features. Even though to the picture to the right, it does not show the landscaping plan, but that is included. So the half moon, the green area will be landscaped similar to the picture to the left. With the new changes to this, we end up with a cost savings of $155,976. Next is the stormwater path and staircase. The path to the left is shown, the path to, is without the picture to the left is the path, the picture to the right is without the path. During the site plan evaluation, we were unable to make this path ADA accessible. It is our recommendation to remove this path due to not being able to be compliant. The other two access points we have in the park to access the park are ADA compliant. This change provides a cost savings to the project of $157,956. The next design changes for your consideration is based on the cost that came back from the updated cost estimate. These changes help reduce the overall cost to the project. The project came in $2.3 million over the available balance for the budget. These cost savings, and at the end I will have a slide detailing these cost changes so you can see them. The first for your consideration is the terraced wall surfacing. We are requesting for it to be like a pressed concrete, which is the picture for the alternate design, instead of the veneer stone that you see in the middle picture. We also, at the very top of the terrace garden, the original design called for turf. We would like for it to be natural grass. The cost savings for this change is $623,943.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, sir.
It is the same design as we see.
Correct.
It's
It's
just
just different
the face
wall.
the face of the wall.
Correct.
Okay.
And at the top, it called for turf,
Yeah.
and we are requesting a change to grass. Next is the playground design. We would like to change, or we are changing playground vendors. The original vendor from the design you approved was Earthscapes. They are located in Canada and have communicated there could be additional tariffs based on this playground. We would like to move to Burke, a member of our Sourcewell contract for the city. We are also changing the budget to $400,000 all in. That includes the unit, the shipping, and the installation. The picture to the right is the Burke playground that we are considering for this site. It maintains the outdoor backyard concept. It has the same number of features for the park. The difference is it will be in fiber mulch, which is the playground material, and not PIP, which is poured in place rubber. The savings for this, $455,985. Next is the overlook decking material, changing from a composite wood to white pine. This provides a cost savings of $16,533.
Back on that one, what's the life difference of the two?
They're different ones. Typically, a composite can be up to 75 years, is what the trade or what the warranty is. For white pine, that's what we use currently on our greenways, and they last us anywhere from probably 15 to 25 years, depending on shade and weather. And the replacement, typically the replacement cost washes over time between the two. Extended time, the composite wood is a better option. Next is the greenway material surfacing, changing it from asphalt to that natural surface crushed fines. That provides a cost savings of $35,628. So an overview of the design changes and the cost estimates that provided for the Dave Phillips Park. The overall estimate came in at $12,588,636, which is about $2.3 million over the available balance. Taking into consideration all the items that I mentioned, it reduces that cost by $1.869,097. With that consideration and it takes the total project over $470,959 instead of the $2.3 million. Now with this, the $3.7 million for the overall estimated project cost with the reductions does include 12.5% for general contractor overhead, and 8% contingency is included in that number. And I'll be glad to answer any questions.
On the Greenway, if you decide at a later date to come back and asphalt,
We can.
so this is not the end of it.
No, sir. When the price estimate came back over the estimated and what we had available in the budget, council has instructed us to come back and provide you that information so you will know what the pricing is. And hopefully this was informative and helps you make decisions in reference to the Dave Phillips Park
Question
for
council?
design and materials.
I'm not convinced about the white pine versus composite. I mean, if you replace it in 15 years, it seems to me it's a savings of only $16,000. That's just an opinion. That's your choice.
I would agree with that opinion. It seems like to me what's going to require, based on what I know, the most maintenance is what's going to give you the least savings. I'm not sure I see the benefit of that either over time.
No,
So,
we'll be glad to add it back into the project.
well, you know, I know you're over budget, but
Hold on. Terry?
I'm asking. I'm a little confused on what's just the cost of the project?
Just the cost,
with all this
without
tip-
design,
with all
without, is 5 million, without any reductions, $5,588,636.
Now with the reductions, it's down to 3, is that what I'm reading?
Yes, sir. Now, with that 558, there are 2 items that we really need to make design changes. That's the aviary due to the environmental assessment that came back about the soil and the stormwater path not being ADA compliant.
So how much is that?
I have to do that math.
That'd be in addition to the
Yes.
project. So, what?
To the 479
Right.
that it's over.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. That-
With
so that-
all
yeah,
the reductions is $470,959 over with everything listed. And I would have to figure in some, the GC, because you got to back that back, or put that back in for GC overhead and contingency.
Which is 12 and 8%, 12%, 8%.
12.5 is what we did for the GC.
Everybody got that?
Can I try?
Yeah, go ahead.
So after design, what is your total construction estimate? to
Total
bid.
available budget is $3,248,580. That's what we have in our budget for this project.
And that's not quite what I asked.
Okay, I'm
We
sorry.
can stay there, because the paperwork that we got in October showed that was $2,743,240. So where did you pick up $500,000 from October to now on the available budget?
I would have to allude to Jessica, because some of it came in from cost estimates. As we get cost estimates, adjustments are made in the sheet.
I'm just talking about the available balance,
Okay,
not talking about any kind of estimates,
yes, sir.
just what's left in the bond.
Was that after October?
Yes.
So the change between October and what she's showing now is that when we came for the final design previously, we updated it to the estimate at that point.
And I'm not talking about estimates. I'm talking about what you told us we had in the bond, the available balance
Yeah.
to spend on the project.
We increased the budget to the
the estimate at that point in time. So the available balance also went up because the total project budget went up
Okay,
at that point in time for final design.
okay.
I got it.
So then,
It's increased again.
okay, so the available budget now is,
Hold on, say that one more time. Say what you just said.
Okay, so when we brought the final design for approval previously, we increased the budget to the estimate at that point in time at 100% completion. And so that changed that budget that's showing there, which increased, because that increased, the available balance increased.
and we just haven't gotten those
So in
updated.
Yeah, and we can
Yeah.
get you an updated spreadsheet.
In October, when we brought the final design for y'all's approval, it had a cost estimate with it, and the overall budget was updated at that time.
Okay, so that 500,000 this way, correct?
Yeah.
Which went to 2.7.
Yeah.
3.2, I mean, from 2.7.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry. Got these
And then
numbers.
the updated cost estimate
Final
is
report.
where we jumped to 5.5.
Okay, got it.
So now the current projection to build the park, if we take all of these VE items, all of them, is 3,719,539.
Yes, sir.
And that includes a GC contingency, that includes everything.
Yes, sir.
And if we were to add the composite back, we go up a little $16,000,
Yes, sir.
which is about $1 million over what's in the bond that's available. You said it was about 3 point?
No, it's 407,
400.
400, and so you go up 60, so it'll be less than $500,000.
Right.
And Ramsworth came
I
in
get it.
under, so we've got savings from that.
I have some concerns that we're making changes to fit a budget versus the opposite way, if that makes sense. And I do agree with Andy that 16,000, like I'm afraid that we're making changes and pulling things out that ultimately, long-term, is gonna cost us more money from a maintenance perspective. And I'm with you. I had 2.7. I didn't have the 4.3, the exact. And so is there any way, Jessica, on Thursday that we could get, that big spreadsheet that you have that has like, here's the bond proceed, here's because I know y'all are so sick of hearing me say this, but we cannot spend a dime
No.
over the 60. I know we got that extra because we gave back all the fancy stuff, but like, we must touch every park. And I have concerns with going out and saying, this is what we're building, and then coming back and saying, this is what we're changing. Now, I will say some of the changes, like, I do feel like it's a substitution, right? It's not a taken away.
It's more of a material.
And I think that, I appreciate that too, by the way, because I want to fit within the budget. But I'd like, if you could bring that spreadsheet and update us on that, because I just need to wrap my head around the numbers.
And
That would be great. That would be awesome. Okay, that's perfect. Thank you so much. I think the 16 is off the
Where we're substituting granular for the asphalt.
Yeah.
Is that in a floodplain or water?
it's in waterway.
So it's kind of like Dorton, that every time it floods, it washes it out and you have to
Some
repair
of
it?
the fines stay, but yes, there will be ongoing maintenance, no different than the asphalt and the cracks. There will be maintenance because we're in the floodway, floodplain.
Yeah, I know at Dorton, there are issues, I should say, occasionally when it rains. Well, of course, it floods always, but I'm talking about not rain, just runoff, or the crush and run, I call it.
Yeah, and all these options provided to council is, it's almost like à la carte. And some of these items we could do as bid alternates and see where they come in at is also an option. But I at least wanted council to have the full picture of the park, the cost estimate we received, and options that could be considered.
I would prefer to add all of the voluntary, the ones that we can choose as bid alternates, bid ads, and let us pick at the end if we want to add them, if they happen to come in under budget on the whole park.
I have no problem with that at all, sir.
Does that mean every one of these that say alternative on this page, you're talking about that?
I think the top two are absolutely needed. I don't think we can build the aviary, is that correct?
That is correct.
And the stormwater path, that's a reduction, but you say it's.
Yeah, and I would also like to add the playground, and change the budget to the $400,000 and choose, a company within our Sourcewell contract because the unit that was on there is the exact unit that will be at the park. And I'm comfortable with the master plan and the features that are on this playground for the citizens.
Yeah, I agree. That's, basically, it's an alternate equal to what you started with.
Yes,
So
sir.
yes, I would say that's within your power. Cheaper generator.
There are no cheap generators.
y'all were a kid, I'd be okay with that, or even as a parent, small child, I like that one over there, it seems to, I mean, it's got all the things kids need and like, and it's very, it looks very similar to the one at McGee Park.
It's similar.
Yeah, and that's a really cool playground.
Because this one is almost academic from the fact that you really can't guarantee you can get it.
The other one, I believe the cost will increase based on what the communication is from Earthscapes out of Canada.
Yeah.
They are planning for tariff increase, because they
So-
just don't know.
So are we, with what you're going to bring back, she's going to bring back, we'll be ready to look at it
Thursday. Yes.
on Thursday?
Got to ask.
Jessica's gonna bring the sheet, right, the spreadsheet, representing all that, so, okay.
I hate to ask this, are we sure that Burke's components are not made in China or elsewhere? Do we know that?
I do not know that for sure. They have given us a price and a guarantee when we did the RFP for the playground alternatives.
May already be here, so. It's probably already in the country already, just guessing, so.
Any more questions?
That's,
You're welcome.
Thank you, Sheila.
Thank you.
thanks, Sheila.
All right, moving to item number 5, consider adopting municipal ordinance declaring no parking anytime.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So Philip's going to go through this and describe this item in detail for council this evening, so please.
Thank you, Mayor, members of council, Mr. Payne, Ms. Kulczynski, Ms. Deason. Again, this is a motion to, or an item to adopt a municipal ordinance for no parking. So our current ordinance says that I can post up to 200 feet at a time. I'll fast forward to these slides here. On Robbins Way and Halton Crossing, these are our current parking conditions. This is pictures. Some of these are as of Friday. Some of them are a week or two before. But it's a common occurrence on Robbins Way, Halton's Crossing there at Pitt School Road, 29, the Food Line Shopping Center. There for context, so behind the Food Line, sort of that cut-through movement there. It's become a heavy parking area for tractor trailers and other businesses, and so we work frequently with police on this, on what's the proper enforcement, what's the proper signage out here to make it the best. And as you can see, there's a number of sight distance issues, safety of moving the cars to what would be theoretically left of center if there was a double yellow line on the road. So just the increased safety issues with that. So the next slide
Hey,
is,
before you leave that one.
Yep.
The one on the center right, is that 2 trucks parked?
center right, yes, sir. They are right at the stop sign to Pitt School Road. So just coming from Pitt School and just approaching the stop sign in that
Bounce your
condition.
car through it?
Kind of a
Like pinball.
chicane situation, if you will. Traffic calming.
Got it.
Yeah. So, like I said, currently, we can, in the ordinance, I can post up to 200 feet at a time. Over the years, we have posted the inside of the curve on Robbins Way. That's that green dashed line you see on the map. We've done that twice. We've approached it, dealt with part of the sight distance issues. Of course, they move. We have another sight distance issues, and so forth, so on. So instead of chasing our tails through this road and so forth, we're here to you for a motion to adopt this ordinance to make all of Robbins Way and all of Halton's Crossing a no parking situation. And then once, if you approve, our sign shop would then erect those signs.
And that's both sides of the street?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Questions?
I'd like to make a comment. I've had several folks that live in the area beyond that, like in Morris Glen and so forth. They use that as a cut-through to avoid the light, which is a challenge sometimes right there at Pitt School in 29. And they've complained considerably. It's like going through an obstacle course certain days of the week when those trucks are not on the road and they're there. So appreciate you. In my opinion, thank you for doing this and getting this done, so safety-wise.
Absolutely.
Counterpoint.
Counterpoint.
I'm on that road a lot also. It's awful. But it's kind of like our homeless problem. You're moving them. Where are they going to go? Most of these people live in those apartments, and they're parking their commercial trucks on those roads. So they're going to park them somewhere, so you're moving the problem. Do we have any idea where you're moving them to?
And we've addressed this in other areas of the city before. Sometimes they move to another road where we are, then chasing it on another road. But we really don't know where they're going to try to move to next. We're aware that DOT is constantly at the interstate interchanges, working on those situations,
It's a big issue.
and they have to tag vehicles and so forth as they need to. But it's just sort of the unknown of where they're going to go to next.
One area they
honestly.
probably will go to, it's not listed as being I don't see the name of it, but the little road to the top left, they're gonna park up and down. That's almost 4 lanes wide
Yeah.
right there. They're gonna park there.
And that's a development that has come through a number of times in the past. I know previous site plans of that has had dedicated on-street parking. So if the future development were to happen there, that essentially will go away. So, but there's really nothing on that road right now. And not being there will, yes. The other point, I'm sure y'all have seen it as well, is out there, the litter. And thankfully, we have a good Adopt a Street group that's out there that picks up routinely. But there is quite a heavy amount there.
You don't feel like if we just do one side, that's going to allow the through traffic to use it and the on-street parking to use it?
The issue is because there's businesses on both, there's businesses on, I guess you say, the inside of the curve, if you will.
Got it.
And with their drives and everything, we're still gonna have a sight distance issue regardless, so.
That's the issue, site issues.
So strictly, like I said, main focus is safety, accessory part is the litter, if you will.
Keep printing no parking signs.
We're good at it.
Any more questions?
I have one, it's somewhat related. Are these ordinances by street, or is there like a citywide ordinance about parking on both sides of the street? I know of one street downtown where there's quite a bit of construction going on, and there are cars everywhere on both sides of the street. And I get real worried that if there was a fire, like maybe at one of those houses on that street, that a fire truck couldn't get through. Fire trucks are big. They take up a lot of space. And the way I see these people parking, some this way, some this way, it's like, how would you get a fire truck through there? I mean, it really concerns me. So I'm curious, with this coming up, is it a per street ordinance, or is it like a citywide kind of thing?
Yeah, well, so two parts to that. So adopting this, there are 2 ordinances to adopt in there. So it's an ordinance for each road. But the overall city ordinance does state a minimum width to stay clear on the roads of 22 feet. Now, the issue with that is who parks first if there's 2 cars parked on the road. So understanding that, it also says about signs being posted, and that's where it's enforceable, or within so many feet of a stop sign, fire hydrant, et cetera. So at the end of the day, working with police, we have our monthly meetings with police and fire and our staff, and we look at these issues almost monthly and try to figure out what's the best fit. So we've talked about this a number of times and tried to see how can we best do it. We try not to bring it to you all if we can, to try to see how much we can do with communicating with the drivers, communicating with the folks out in the public. But yeah, so. But there is a minimum width for the fire truck. That 22 feet, I believe comes from fire code.
Okay, that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, moving to item number 6, consider adopting a resolution requesting to reduce speed limit at 601 Warren C. Coleman. from Almond Trout to Zion Church.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So Tony's going to present this item to council this evening.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of council, Mr. Payne, Ms. Kolchinsky, and Ms. Deason. I think we had another slide. Stole it. But that's okay. Sorry. I'm sorry. It's first time, see, first time jitters.
It's a button.
It's only gonna be the first time once, though, so I better get it right next time, right? All right, so what we're here for tonight, and actually Thursday night, but tonight as we're talking about it, is to consider a resolution to request from NCDOT to reduce the speed limit in the area that's in yellow on the slide, from Armand Trout Drive to essentially the city limits line down near the food line south of Zion Church on US 601. The green area is the Flow Store Road US 601 project that's currently in design. NCDOT has looked at that, and they're going to lower that speed limit to 45 miles an hour from 55 with the project. So what that leaves us is the area up to the yellow line is 45 currently, and then the area past the yellow line will be 45 after, and there'll be a section of 55 in between. And as an engineer, as a driver, as a law enforcement officer, as members of council, it can be inconsistent, it can be frustrating. So one of the things that we're looking for here is to create a consistent speed limit through the whole corridor. So this resolution would be to request NCDOT to consider lowering the speed limit to 45 through that corridor to make it 145 stretch all the way through.
Any questions?
Purpose is convenience, consistency.
Consistency is the big one, yeah.
Yeah, I just sort of wondered, it took us a long time to get there, but I support this. Yeah. Okay,
Thank you.
thank you very much. There you go. Number 7, consider authorizing city manager to negotiate and execute a contract with Clearwater Incorporated.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Jeff will cover this item this evening.
All right, good afternoon, Mayor, Council, Mr. Payne, Ms. Kolchinsky, Ms. Deason. If you recall, last month, we brought you the water SCADA reintegration project. The contract tonight is for the sourcing and installation of a new wastewater telemetry solution. The current wastewater system is piggybacking off of the water SCADA system. Wastewater staff is encountering the same reliability issues with their system. Additionally, the alerting capabilities need to be improved in order to be relied on for state compliance. Under state rules, these pump stations must be visited daily, all 22 of them, unless the reliable remote telemetry system can be shown to be effective at identifying and alerting to emergency conditions. In this case, those visits are reduced to weekly. The city posted a public RFP allowing for firms and vendors to submit a proposed telemetry package with installation. Proposals were accepted on March 24th. 3 submittals were received. After reviewing qualifications and system requirements, we have selected Clearwater Incorporated to install Mission SCADA at all 22 wastewater pump stations at a total contract cost of $202,765.86. And along with the contract, we're asking for your approval of a budget amendment for $210,000 to fund the project.
Any questions? All right,
Thank
thank you very much. Number 8, consider accepting a preliminary application from Stephen McDonald.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This last item on the regular agenda, Jackie will cover this for council.
Good evening, Mayor, members of council, Mr. Payne, Ms. Kolchinsky, and Ms. Deason. This afternoon, Stephen McDonald has submitted a preliminary application to receive water and sewer service outside the city limits. The property is located at 5040 Flow Store Road. This is a 2.54 acre parcel. It's zoned county LDR, and it's in Area B. The owners wish to build one single family home. The parcel is not contiguous to the city limits. So the recommendation would be to have the owner proceed to final application excluding annexation.
And we're just doing sewer?
Water and sewer.
Water and sewer.
Yes.
And we do have water
We do.
available there, okay.
Yes, sir.
And just a note for council, the address that Jackie stated is just a little different than what's in your agenda item. The property owner owns both of the properties, so it is 5040, not 5031.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
So we're giving them water and sewer, but not annexing?
Correct. They are not contiguous to the
They're not
parcel.
contiguous. Yep.
This parcel, the sewer is direct connection to Wasack, so we've already coordinated with them to ask permission to do that.
Okay. Any more questions?
Can we see a map on Thursday of, you know how sometimes you guys include the map that it's like, here's the parcel, here's where the city limits are?
Sure.
Could you, or just send us that or whatever by Thursday?
It
That
will
would
be
great.
similar to this, but just zoomed out.
Yeah, just to have the city limit. Because I know not contiguous, that could mean
A lot of different things.
a lot of different
Yes,
things, yeah.
Yes.
Right, any more questions? Right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Any questions from the consent agenda? Anything, items to pull? All right. Earlier today, I sent out our allocations that we've decided on and spreadsheet. And if anybody has any cool questions about it, we're bounced to what we said we would be doing, 100,000 and 75,000. Thank you all for coming again and again to get it done. Appreciate that. So we have a short closed session. Motion to move to go into closed session pursuant to NC General Statute 143-318.11, A, 3, 4, and 6, in order to consult with an attorney to protect the attorney-client privilege, discuss the location and expansion of industries or other businesses in the area served by this public body, and consider the qualifications, competence, performance, character, fitness of an individual public employee. Is there a motion?
So moved. Second.
All in favor, raise your hand. Thank you very much. That comes and goes.